Steve Bryant.
Thank you very much. Just two areas, Mr Deputy Speaker, I want to centre my remarks on today. But first, I do think our government deserves great credit for the unprecedented support that it has given companies, charities, workers and individuals in this sector during the pandemic. It would also be awesome if we could not continually misquote the Chancellor. Any of us who served in government know how slow the Whitehall machine can be, so I think we should marvel at the furlough scheme, the self-employed income support scheme, and the grants that we put out there through local authorities in England, and of course the government-backed loan scheme. They've all, no doubt, they've saved millions of livelihoods and businesses, and credit to ministers for making them happen, while recognising, as we must, and I always say in this chamber, every single penny is your money, by which I address the British public, and one way or another, every single penny will have to be paid back. And these support measures have absolutely helped the DCMS sector, albeit with some notable exceptions, which I just want to focus on. So, number one, the events sector. There's no question that the UK events sector, as the previous speaker alluded to, has been brought to its knees by COVID. And it's so sad because the exhibition and events industry was a vibrant, growing sector before this hit, contributing some £70 billion of economic impact to the nation. And at a stroke, the industry became unviable, as government restrictions mean that basically no UK events are permitted to take place until, I should imagine, March next year at the earliest. So the Meetings Industry Association estimate there are some 700,000 people employed within this industry and just north of 120,000 job losses so far. And who are we talking about? We're talking about catering, we're talking about front of house, event and account managers, we're talking about the technical staff, and of course the many freelancers who build the events, the sound engineers, the people who hire out the stands, the furniture, and of course the AV guys and girls. And I have to say, I do welcome the Chancellor's new job support scheme, but a salary subsidy for companies that are not able to trade is not the stuff of dreams, if I'm honest. You know, I totally get the honesty in government talking about viable jobs in the changed post-COVID economy, but we have to be honest and say there is a difference between an unviable business and one that is not allowed to be viable, as is the case for the UK events sector. Furthermore, and this sort of goes back to the much wider point that the events world, although it involves many who work within it, is the self-employed support scheme has troubled me from the off, and I've said it in this house many times. The intention to achieve parity for self-employed workers with those on PAYE was absolutely the right thing to do, but as our select committee says at paragraph 12 in its report, the impact of COVID on the sectors, too many self-employed people have missed out on support to date, putting the future of our creative workforce at significant risk. And we say in the report, Mr Deputy Speaker, that from October 2020 at the latest, so this month, the government should introduce flexible sector-specific versions of the SEISS, guaranteed for the creative industries until their work and income returns to sustainable levels. I know the Treasury Committee's report, Economic Impact of Coronavirus, proposed some practical solutions as to how this might be achieved, and we endorse that. And then to return to the UK events sector specifically, I understand that DCMS are proposing a targeted economic support package for the business visitor economy, which would be crucial and a welcome move. Anything the Minister can say to that in summary, we'd be all ears. And then secondly, the UK festivals and live music scene. Last year, the live music sector contributed £4.5 billion to the UK economy, supporting over 200,000 jobs. Festivals themselves, and I declare an interest, generate £1.75 billion, support some 85,000 jobs. The catastrophic impact of COVID can't be underestimated on the sector. According to the most recent survey by the Association of Independent Festivals, at least 50% of the workforce are facing redundancy. And then the festival season, which is obviously between April and September, was totally abandoned this year, of course, and is working towards, but not hopeful for, I have to say, returning next year. So part of that hopeful return is the DCMS Festivals Working Group, which I thank the Department for. It's now had 3 meetings with several drafts of the COVID operational festival planning guidance has been produced. I understand this will be produced as a working draft next week. It will be hosted on the Purple Guide website, which is a good-to-go industry standard for health, safety and welfare at music and other events. And I think that is imperative that we take that seriously. So in closing, Mr Deputy Speaker, I just want to say the Cultural Recovery Fund, the £1.57 billion, is excellent. Heaven only knows why it's taken so long to put money out, which I understand starts tomorrow and then again on Monday. And above all, I hope that when it does, next week, get to the arts sector, that the wonderful Theatre Royal in Winchester, which has done so much to help itself, will have some help from government to continue its great work. That will be a nice October surprise. Thank you.
4 minutes.